Well, good afternoon to you all. It is definitely a pleasure to be here with Less is More from Museum Minicelli. I knew I was not going to be able to use this clicker. Well, here we are. We are very far from Medellin, very different geography, very different climate, very different place, quite far, but this is where we are located. Our museum is a very small museum in front of the city or the town square, and it belongs to the first school of the site. It only has 140 square meters, and for many years it hasn't had a budget. We only get our salaries. How do we lack? How do we define lack? Well, this is a double door, which is very important in Patagonia to keep the cold weathers outside. And in this pre-chamber, we do not have a refrigerator. And here we place our sodas and wines for our openings. In the last exhibit, we had no water, so we could not use the bathroom. But we told all our visitors that it was the case, and they were okay. They simply walked to the school, and we had no water. Because the pump was not working. We can also define scarcity, and this may help you understand our scale. Part of the inventory of our inventory includes a corkscrew that was donated by the first coordinator. We also have a hose. This hose was donated by the staff of the museum, and gel mode shiner that was also donated by another one of our employees. This is what we have. So the question that I want to share with you is, can there be power in scarcity? Again, this is scarcity, which is very related to my landscape, quite different from this exuberant landscape that we have in Medellin. This is our landscape. So the question is there a power in scarcity? So we began to think, what is it that we have here? What we have is this. This is our team. This is the museum team. In a cold winter day, we're standing in front of the museum, and as you can see, they're very proud of the place where they work. What we have is us, basically a group of people that parties in birthdays with tremendous bonds, and we try to create bonds with those outside. What we have is a piece of cake that we save for Mayra because Mayra didn't go to work that day. And this care also extends to our visitors. What we have is desire. This is an exhibit that we made between the students and mentors, and the title was to contage desire, and this becomes our institutional slogan. We want to others to feel our desire, because when there is a scarcity, what we need is desire. Another slogan is to bring our bodies in. This is Charlie, the husband of Julia, and he's a volunteer who fixes, for instance, bookshelves in our museum because relatives are part of the museum. What we have is bonds or relationships. This is our main treasure. Our artists, our schools, our neighbors, then we all come together, and in this specific case, we're doing a training. Our museum does not have a space that is big enough for us to do this type of activity, so we frequently go to the school to conduct activities. What do our people lack? Basically, what we lack is what you have an abundance of. We need color, cover, and this is what we try to do in the Minicelli Museum. We pretend to be a place as well, something basic. A place in La Patagonia is a lot. It's a place that gives you warmth, a place where you can go drink mate or coffee with milk while you do your homework as these little children. We have artists here, and we have a university professor who came to the museum and used it as an office. Also, something outside the museum, not only to come out of the limits of the museum, but also to be impertinent. Again, to be out of place. Being out of place is pertinent to museums, and at this point in time, we decided to present our online collection. This was the first project that I presented for TIPA, and for me, this was a new door for my professional life, and I presented it in the cover of our room because we did not fit inside the building. Again, being out of place, sometimes we go to different places. This is the Bay of San Julian, where we did a training. We are also a place for things to happen. It is also very important to provide a place for things to happen, but frequently we do not know what is going to happen. This is a group of artists. We had no idea what they were going to do. They simply put a lot of chairs and they conducted different actions around the museum. And this was all done by artists and neighbors and art students, a place for things to happen. This is the orchestra of the neighborhood of Rio Vallejo. It's a very important social, inclusive project, and they wanted to be part of the Minicelli Museum, so we implemented an alliance. They are playing in this space that looks like a house. You can see a bed in the back. Again, a place for things to happen. One of our allies is a DJ that always plays for free. Well, actually, not really for free because he's also advertising his image with us. But he wanted to play his vinyls in the museum, so we prepared a collection and exhibit of vinyls in September. And neighbors from the community were invited to bring their own vinyl records, so they would listen to their vinyl records here because many of them had no vinyl record players. So thanks to this, we were able to have this bowl, mirror bowl in the middle. So this actually turned out sort of like a party. Here we have Carlos Bentor playing Beatles music, and I also wanted to assure that what we lack frequently is a door. We have no door. This is Julio Rodriguez, our main sponsor. He's taking a selfie with artists from Canada who came to a project, and this is Mario Valgoria bringing a champagne bottle, similar as when you go to a barbecue in Argentina. You bring wine to this barbecue, so I think the honor and the happiness of being here, sometimes the scarcity becomes a power. We didn't have photographers either, and we requested people to do this for us. We invited photography amateurs and professional photographers under hashtag MAEM. We asked them to be part of this Minicelli Museum, but I'm being kicked off, but I'm about to finish. And now we are in Medellin. For us, it's a dream to be here. This is a typical road in Patagonia. Roads in Patagonia, what we have on the ground is called ripio. Basically, this is gravel. We frequently have to, when we drive on this, you can not step hard on your brake because it may be dangerous. And now what we're doing is looking for new publics. We want to bring new DJs into the museum. We want to bring artists. But in addition to bringing new publics, another thing that we have to do is fix the pump so we can have running water in our exhibits. Thank you very much.